What about the Arab allies from Operation Desert Storm? How do they stand on this right now?
They seem to be foursquare behind it, feeling that the Iraqis have to be compelled to cooperate, that they have been stalling, the Iraqis that is, long enough, and that somehow order has to be brought into the region, and that this is one way to help do it.
Dennis, thank you very much. ABC's Dennis Trout live for us this morning at the Pentagon. Now, Saddam Hussein has reportedly called an emergency cabinet session today to try to deal with all these latest warnings from the West. The newspaper there, the government newspaper in Baghdad, says the U.S. is banging the drums of aggression. That is a quote. It says the U.S. is trying to do that even though it claims the Iraqis are cooperating with the United Nations.
Well, I believe it is a tempest in an empty cup of tea. Anyhow, this is a free country, so anyone who would like to have an ego trip on the cheap can threaten Iraq.
The ambassador is expected to deliver Iraq's answer on the UN inspection sometime today. He'll also be hearing the Security Council's decision on letting Baghdad sell $1.5 billion worth of oil. Diplomats say they will allow this one-time sale so the Iraqis can buy food and start paying war damages. Also making news this morning, Secretary of State James Baker is now in the final stop on his Middle East peace tour. Baker is continuing diplomatic rounds now in Jordan, meeting with King Hussein. Earlier, he was in Damascus, Syria, where he met with President Assad. Now, Assad said that the U.S. loan guarantees to Israel, those controversial ones being held up right now, could be an obstacle to peace. Secretary Baker indicated the U.S. would make sure guarantees would not mean new Jewish settlements in the occupied territories.
We have a right to know and a right to ask how that aid and how those guarantees will be used.
Israeli officials say they have no plans to stop building those new settlements in the occupied territories, as the U.S. is demanding, as you just heard. And here is some proof of the Israeli position. They say that they plan to dedicate a new Jewish settlement next Tuesday. Also in the Middle East, another encouraging word, but still no sign of any Western hostages being set free. An aide to Iran's president is predicting that all of the hostages will be free in 2 months if Israel releases the rest of its 300 Arab prisoners. And tonight on Prime Time, President Assad will talk with Diane Sawyer. It is his first TV interview on American TV in some 7 years. That's on Prime Time with Sam Donaldson and Diane Sawyer, and it begins at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Moscow this morning, Russian President Boris Yeltsin was supposed to speak to the Russian parliament during its opening session, but Yeltsin's apparently